Hey guys, so this is off topic, the off topic show. I tried to find just a compilation, but every single compilation is just a person reacting. So despite it's got, that stuff, I think this is for the most part actual just compilations. We have the person who owns the channel, but then we have, a long period of, just a compilation. So but this whole EBT thing. So tomorrow, as of right now, tomorrow, November 1st, people are melting down because, oh my God, we're not going to get our EBT and blah, blah, blah. But here they are filming themselves on expensive iPhones. I guarantee you. And I can say this personally from experience because I used to work at Ingalls. So we had a lot of people come in who had EBT. They had all that stuff. So they would come in 4 or 5 buggies. None of it was healthy. It was all basically garbage. And they have $600, $700 on their, not on their EBT code, but they'd have several thousand. And all this shit was paid with EBT. But then they'd have a nice iPhone. They would have a nice car. The women would have their hair done, their nails done, and their eyelash. So they can afford all this other shit, but they want to sit there and complain that they can't feed their kids. So we're going to watch some of this, and then I'm going to give you some helpful, useful advice that I recommend you take if you're one of these kinds of people who are complaining that you can't feed your kids.
I'm not working for nobody. Right now, this is what American taxpayers work for. They work for me. They gotta help me. With a night, like, don't be believe me and mine. I want to tap out. I want my EBT. I want my EBT, and I'm not working for nobody. When the government is here to help, come on, guys.
Now you have that gentleman down in the corner saying, I want my EBT. I don't work for nobody. Maybe that's the issue here, because a lot of these people don't want to fucking work. The government has basically said, hey, you don't want to work? That's fine. We'll take care of you. It'll be at the taxpayer's expense, but we'll take care of you. So most of these people feel no need to really work. There's a person like this. I pay $50 in rent thanks to taxpayers.
You angry? Does that make you shiver in your boots? Does that make you want to punch me in my face? I paid $50 for a 2-bedroom for my family of 6 with the help of your tax dollars. Thank you very much. Love you guys. So because of that video I made of my family of 7 living in a 2-bedroom apartment and me only paying $50, somebody on here was so miserable to go report me that now they gave me an eviction notice for 30 days. So now I need a lawyer. Thanks to y'all taxpayers that are so mad that you're paying my $50 in rent for my 2-bedroom apartment for a family of 7. I don't know how y'all even found out where I live. It's a 10-story apartment building. Y'all found out where I live. Y'all contacted the housing people. I don't know what you said to them, but now me and my family's getting evicted and we're gonna be on the streets. So thanks a lot.
Yeah, I told y'all, with or without EBT, me and mine gonna eat.
Clock in. Of course we gonna eat.
We gonna eat.
And notice, it's never anything good. It's all frozen stuff. Frozen chicken, frozen, whatever. And again, I can say this from experience because I worked at Ingalls and we had a lot of people like that where they'd have 4 or 5 buggies and it was all shit. So a lot of these people, not all of them, are frauding, obtaining these things through fraudulent means, where government assistance is fine if it is a legitimate reason. If you are legitimately unable to work due to some kind of mental health, mental health illness or something like that, if you need EBT, that's fine. But the fact is that these people push out kids because they know the more kids they have, the more money they get. The less money they make, the more the government will provide. They're incentivized to not do anything. And a lot of the times they're able, and this is one reason why they got mad with the restrictions, where you can't get EBT continuously if you don't have at least 20 hours of work a week, so about 80 hours a month. They were flipping their shit over that. So 20 hours. And they've said, the government was like, it doesn't even have to be a paying job, just something. It could be volunteer work. It doesn't have to be a 9 to 5, every day, just to where you can get 20 hours a week. It could be volunteer work, just as long as it's something you can qualify. And they're like, oh my God, they're taking our EBT away. Oh my God, our family's going to... Well, first, you're not going to starve. There's food pantries, there's other means for you to survive. But the food pantries will generally have more healthy, nutritious options rather than the shit that you go out and buy with your EBT card. But also, I'm going to teach you some fun money savers so you can provide payment through PayPal or super thanks or whatever it is on this. So, you want to feed your kids. Come here. How about, that new iPhone that you wasted your money on? You didn't have to waste your money on that. There's no difference between this iPhone and the last one. So you spend several $1,000+ on a new iPhone when that's several $1,000 or, how much is it now? Like $1,500 or whatever. That could have gone towards feeding your children. Your hair getting done, your eyes, your eyelashes, your nails, your this, your that, your new clothes, your Gucci bag. Well, guess what? You don't need those either. As a parent, you need to understand that sacrifices need to happen. When you have a child, it's no longer about you. From the time they were born to the time they're 18 years old, it's your responsibility to take care of them. They become priority number one. You can't focus on yourself and then whine about not having enough money to feed your own children. If you know you can't afford to have children, then don't have children. If you're going to get to this point where you want to spend all the money on you, but then fucking complain and expect the taxpayers to take care of your kids for you because you just want to blow away your money on frivolous and stupid shit, your children become number one. They are the priority. Sometimes, as parents, if you don't have the means to do so, you need to make sacrifices. Downgrade that car into something more affordable to help you save some money. Maybe instead of upgrading every fucking month to the newest iPhone, why not keep the one you have? And that $1,000+ that can go towards getting food for your children. Instead of worrying about getting your hair done and your nails done, which a lot of these people say cost several $100s. Why not just keep it for your children? If you don't want to sacrifice for your children, then don't have children. If you're in a position where you know from the start that you will not be able to provide, do not have children. Why do you think I don't have any children? Because I can't take care of them. I have enough money to pay my rent. I have money to pay my internet bill, and that's pretty much it. I do not have the financial means to take care of another human being. So therefore, me having that knowledge, I can plan my life accordingly. I know I cannot provide for a child, therefore I'm not having them. Wow, real fucking hard. Real fucking hard there. Taking fucking responsibility for your poor life choices. You want to go out there and have fucking children with 5 different partners and get knocked up left and right, then you need to bear the responsibility and stop acting like it's the taxpayer's fucking problem. You're the one who let 5 different dudes fucking come inside you. Not us. Not us. You're the one who should have said, hey man, I don't want to get pregnant. Can you wrap it up? Not us. So stop making taxpayers pay for your fucking life choices. And at this point, if you are continuously having kids to buck the system, because you know the more kids you have, the more EBT and benefits you get, you're the fucking problem. You're the kind of person we're trying to weed out. There are so many people who legitimately need it, people who are legitimately disabled, who are not able to work. You know, elderly who may not be able to work, who may not have the best retirement or whatever, who actually need it. But there's so many, one, illegal immigrants who are fucking getting this shit. People like them who are fucking the system, and, you know, just more kids, more money. There's so many people who actually need it, but they're not able to get that full amount because you have scumbags like this, like all the people here, who are thinking about them. They're thinking about themselves. They're not even thinking about their kids. That's just the excuse they go to, because it's, you know, it tugs the heartstrings. It's, oh my God, please think of the kids. Well, why didn't you think about the kids? They're your kids. Why should we have to think about them? Why aren't you acting like a fucking responsible adult? Why are you spending hundreds of dollars getting your hair did and getting your nails did when you should be focusing on feeding your fucking children? Again, plan your life accordingly. If you live in an area, not a lot of opportunity, you don't have the means to take care of children, don't have children. If you're a dude, don't go around and fuck every fucking girl that you find and come inside her. Women, your body, your choice. You have the right to choose whether or not you want a dude to fucking come inside you. Okay, you want to sit here and say, my body, my choice? It's my right to kill a fucking unborn child? Well, it's also your choice on whether or not you want a fucking dude to come inside you. Start exercising your my body, my choice bullshit. Okay? If you're not financially able to care for a child, then don't fucking have them. Simple as that. But these people are selfish. These people care only about themselves. It's, you know, and it's, you look at this, and then they want to stage this thing for tomorrow. Basically, they're just going to go and start stealing shit. I know. Shocked, right? When in doubt, start stealing. But then you have these people online who, if you're going on TikTok or Instagram or whatever and openly admitting to want to the you know, that you're about to commit a crime, whenever the government opens up again, your EBT should be just stripped right there. You are knowingly and willingly engaging in an illegal act because you have no fucking self-control. There's other places to get food. You want to know one of the best ways? Get a fucking job. Most of these people are able-bodied. They're able-bodied. If you're able-bodied, your ass should be out working. But what about my kids? Then stop having so many fucking kids. It's easier to pay for things when you have a job and maybe like 1 child than no job and like fucking 6 children. But then when you find that job, guess what? It's not going to be enough because, you know, you decided to have 6 fucking kids. All to buck the system. You didn't plan for the future, did you? Nope, it was for that moment. We're going to have these kids because right now it pays off. But then what happened in this case? When the government shuts down and you don't get your EBT benefits, what are you going to do then? How about stop living in just that state of, oh, me, and start planning for the future? Stop thinking about yourselves and start thinking about actually thinking about your kids. Because it's not about the kids here. It's about them. They don't want to have to fucking work. They don't want to work. These people never want to fucking work for what they get. And all it is a bunch of people fucking whining and bitching and complaining about, oh my God, my benefits. My benefits. Oh my God. Oh my God, you're telling me I have to go get a job? Yeah. Yeah. That's what we're telling you. Go get a fucking job. Sometimes two. At one point, I was working in a factory and I was taking care of the elderly woman that I'm taking care of now. I was doing both jobs same time. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I was at the factory, and Tuesdays and Thursdays, I was taking care of the elderly woman, along with the weekends as well. Guess what? As an adult, sometimes you need to make sacrifices, especially if there are kids involved. When you have children, you can't just pick and choose what days you have off. You can't pick and choose what jobs you have. You need to make every choice with your children in mind. And if you don't want to do that, don't fucking have kids. If you want to be selfish, that's fine. But don't bring children into it. Because then all that's going to happen is you're going to be shown as a narcissistic, entitled asshole that you actually are. So if you're not willing to sacrifice, if you're not willing to say, oh, hey, you know what? Yeah, let me get another job. Stop making it about you. When you have children, you lose that. It's not about you, it's about the kids. How about starting to actually take care of your kids? How about instead of going out and buying that $1,000+ iPhone, how about you just be happy with the phone that you have? Because that's $1,000+ you could be using on your kids. Instead of wasting hundreds of dollars on getting your hair done and your nails done and your tattoos and your nose piercings and this and that, how about you save that and use it to buy food for your children? Clothes for your children. School supplies for your children. And this is coming from someone who isn't a parent. And yet, I seem to know more about being a fucking parent than these parents do. I understand that when you have a child, you need to sacrifice. It's not hard. You just need to be willing to do it, which these people aren't. So instead, they stage we're going to go to Walmarts all over the country and we're going to steal shit. Because of, well, when in doubt, commit a crime. But, I mean, every one of them, nose piercings, this, that, just a fucking tattoo on their, like, they're just trashy people. And not trashy is like, you know, what they do for a living or where they live. They're just trashy people, like on the inside. Like, stop committing fraud to get more benefits and to you know, we shouldn't have to pay for your shit just because you're too fucking lazy. Stop thinking the world revolves around you, because guess what? It doesn't. As an adult, even without children, as an adult, sometimes you need to make sacrifices. If you're not able to pay rent, but somehow you're able to go out and buy that new iPhone, maybe you need to think, let's see, rent, iPhone. What's more important here? Having a place to stay or having a fucking phone with what? A slightly bigger screen? What is more important here? Let's see. 15 more tattoos or being able to buy food? Tattoos, food. Tattoos, food. Well, You kind of need food to survive. You don't really need those tattoos now, do you? But what do I know? What the fuck do I know? That's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.